What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be taking a look at the new update notes coming to Bloons BTD Battles 2 soon, update 1.3. And of course, the reason for this video is the fact that my Monkey Ace is getting some good changes. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this from me in the future. Now, this first clip you're going to be watching here is the perfect introduction for what we'll be talking about, because we are playing on Dino Graveyard, and unfortunately I got matched up on the left side. Now, my opponent and myself are both actually playing Monkey Ace here, which we didn't actually strategize. This is a ranked game, by the way. And this is where the big change is going to be made. So if you're running left side Monkey Ace, you cannot normally get away with running a single 130 bomber ace. You have to go something different, otherwise you'll just end up leaking 2 lives. So in the later part of this clip, you'll end up seeing me go for a 203 never miss and just completely skip altogether bomber ace, whereas my opponent just goes straight for the bomber ace and is perfectly fine throughout the early part of the game here. Now, without any further ado, let's get into the big change that's happening to Monkey Ace this patch. In update 1.3, the Monkey Ace will now be able to follow any of its flight paths in reverse. What that means for the tower is that instead of always being forced to go in a clockwise direction, we can now change it to go counterclockwise instead. Now, this might not sound like a big change, but for Monkey Ace, this is absolutely huge. One of the biggest issues that Monkey Ace faces in the game right now is the lack of consistency on a map-to-map basis, with Dino Graveyard being the biggest outlier in that difference. Basically, what this boils down to is the fact that I'm not going to have to change my strategy and my upgrades that I'm buying simply because I'm playing on the wrong side of the map. There is no longer a wrong side for Monkey Ace, which just overall develops its consistency throughout the game entirely. Now, if you're wondering how this directional change is likely going to work in BTD Battles 2, it's probably going to take notes from BTD 6. This change was implemented a couple months back in that game, and there is an internal cooldown, so you can't simply just spam the button over and over to get the Monkey Ace stuck in place. There's roughly like a 2-second cooldown before you can use the button again to change back to the other direction. So yeah, I know this change doesn't sound like a whole lot for anyone that hasn't tried to play Monkey Ace in Bloons BTD Battles 2 yet, but trust me when I say this is going to overall improve the quality of life for anyone that has played the tower, and it's going to provide a lot more interesting potential micro options for the tower as well. This change also might make it possible for certain maps like Basalt and Koru to just be improved upon overall with Monkey Ace as your main tower for DPS. And that's because the counterclockwise direction will be able to better impact the player sent bloons as opposed to just the natural sense, which is what it's currently set to. Overall, I'm pretty excited for these changes to get implemented within the next couple of days, because normally the BTDB2 devs usually update the patch a couple days before the season's end. Now, if you want to hear more in-depth analysis on Monkey Ace and some of the changes that I'd love to see implemented, which some of those changes that I talked about are getting implemented this patch, feel free to watch my Monkey Ace guide on how to play the tower. It was a lot of fun to make, and I'll be making more guides like that in the future soon. Now, there is one other change that got implemented in Monkey Ace for patch 1.3, and it's a little more on the boring side. And that is this change right here. The Monkey Ace X5X Sarbama dropped in price from $35,000 down to $30,000. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a solid change, so let me break it down for y'all. Currently, in Update 1.2, it costs in its totality $51,150 to purchase Sarbama. This price will be dropped down to $46,150 in patch 1.3. Furthermore, this is also going to affect how much money you're going to need to have on hand in order to be able to repurchase Sarbama if they decide to re-rush you immediately. Currently in Update 1.2, you would need to have $15,345 on hand in order to be able to buy, sell, and then repurchase Sarbama. In Update 1.3, that number is going to be a little bit cheaper at $13,485 saved up instead. That means you need to save roughly $2,000 less in order to be able to buy, sell, and repurchase Sarbama in order to defend against spaced rushes against you. Now, like I said earlier, this is a good change for Sarbama. However, overall, I think as players begin to deal with facing Monkey Ace more and more, they're going to understand that, hey, Monkey Ace can deal with FDDTs pretty well already. Their biggest weakness, however, has always and still is FBADs. So people aren't going to be sending you a lot of FDDT rushes, instead they'll be sending you FBAD rushes, which Monkey Ace can't really deal with right now. Overall though, these changes are definitely a step in the right direction. Did you get it? Because I can change directions next patch. Hello, is my mic work? So yeah, I hope we get to see some more people try and pick up Monkey Ace and test out these directional changes. I think that's gonna provide a lot more consistency to the tower overall. And if I were to say, you know, what else Monkey Ace might need in the future, it's probably some buffs to Spectre and Flying Fortress. They're kind of useless right now. And maybe a little bit more consistency in the damage on ground 0 overall. Just because at round 29, having to buy 3 ground zeros, at this point it's just better to pick up 1 Sarbama. But you still have to deal with the fact that they can just send you 3 FDDTs, do nothing, and then send 3 more, and you will quickly run out of money. Also, if you're paying attention to the video, you're going to notice I just sent a rush, and it's going to be successful against the Bomber Aces, and that's solely because if you're not running Striker Jones, the inability to pop Zebra and Black Bloons just absolutely cause a gigantic regrow farm to happen on this map. As good as Bomber Ace is here, it does fail unless you're running Striker Jones or Biker Bones. And now it's time for a shameless self-plug. If you like this video and you like this style of video, feel free to comment and let me know that you want to see more videos like this from me in the future. And also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all around. Take care until next time. Peace.